1, 2, 3, and action.
Hi everybody, it's Artista Bobby!
And I'm Fat Steve. And I'm the star of the show, Princess Sandra. And together we are Spicehead-Media.
So folks, we move on to chapter 3 of Skegy Dell Soll, entitled, Is That a Bull? So we emerge from this concrete bridge and start to head east along this road. It's still quite a hill. We can't see another bridge and it's very hot. So we've got, I think, a t-shirt over my head, and Howard's got something over his head, and we set off. We're thumbing a lift, but there's very little traffic because not many people knew about this road. It was new. So we're heading along, and we're getting very tired, and there's nowhere to shade, and we're both very dry and very thirsty. And we see another bridge in the distance, at the top of this hill. Remember, we're only 16, but we're two big fat kids, and it's well over 80 degrees by now, probably early afternoon. And gradually we start walking a little bit faster and a little bit faster to try and make it to this bridge. And we get there and we plonk down and we're both exhausted and melting. Now we're in the shade in the bridge, but it's still well over 80 degrees in the shade, I think. So I was still going on about this ring that we never found, and even till the day he died, I think he thought I'd nicked it, and I thought he'd palmed it, but don't know, nothing ever came from it. And as we sat there, there's the odd few cars go past, as I say, and how he's staring across the dual carriageway, and he spots something, and he says, right, he says, just coming up, he says, I think there might be a watering hole over there for the cattle. So we pick up what we've got and head across this dual carriageway. I said it wasn't very busy. It wasn't, a bit like a motorway, but there was a central reservation, but with no barriers. So we get across and we find a gate, and as we look through the gate, about 30 feet away is a big white enamel bath full of water with a tap. So how he sees this, leaves the bags by the gate, it's over the fence, I follow, and as we approach and get there, Howie just looks at me and laughs and jumps into the bath. Just think there could have been anything, it could have been a fork or a rake or anything in it, but he jumps in it. I climb in carefully, I've got my back to the field, and we're slushing around and turn on this tap, and the tap's going, and we're spraying the water and just having fun like two 16-year-olds would do on a hot day. And after a while, Howard suddenly stops and he reaches and points to the tap. So I think the tap was here, and he points and he goes, so I reach up and I turn this tap off, and he goes, what? Now he's looking across the field. I'm sat with my back to me, and he leans over and he says, slowly turn round your head and tell me what that is. I'll turn that way, can't see. So I take a long look at this thing. Stood about 20 feet from us. And it's huge. And it's brown. And it's got arms. And it's there. And it's looking. Scratches a couple of times. And now he says, "What is it?" And I say, "It's a bull." As I've got my hands on the bath, I'm pushing myself up. There's water going everywhere. I leap out and fall into the slushy mud at the side where it's been wet. Howard gets out and it starts and it's coming and it's running faster and faster, and we're running faster and faster. And as we come to the gate, Howard, as we're coming up to the final gate, Howard dives over the gate. I grab it and just manage to climb over it. Just as this bull careers into the back of the gate shakes, the gate wobbles. Howard's on the floor. It knocks me off the fence and I'm on the floor, and we just sit up like this, and we can see its head and we can hear it, and it's clawing and butting, and the gate's going back up, and we just lied there and we started laughing, and we laughed for probably 10 minutes, something like that. It was so mad. We're just covered in mud and shit. We can't get back to the bath to try and clean it, but within 10 minutes it's dry. So we pick up the stuff and decide we're going to continue on our journey. We cross the road back to the side that we're heading along. It's roasting. It's by the time we'd crossed the road and gone back under the bridge heading east, we were nearly dry, but covered in mud. And we carry on along a little bit, and a few cars. Every time we hear a car, and after a while, probably another mile, this little red escort van, tatty thing, pulls up, and there's a driver in the front in like some white pinny thing, and he leans over. He opens the window, not by pressing a button, remember, it's 1976. He has to lean over and wind the window, and he says, where you headed? She said, "We're going Cleethorpes, mate." He says, "Oh, I'm going halfway there." Can't remember where he said. He says, "You just jump in the back if you want." So he's got some sort of white uniform on the front and something else. We don't want to disturb it, so we go around the back. Escort van, 2 doors, climb in. It's pitch black, and we climb in, and we've been in this sunlight for hours and hours, and we climb in, and there's something digging in my leg and something there, and a bit of a, so we lie there and we're knackered, and we said we're going on this journey to Skegness, and he says, "All right," he says, "I'll have to concentrate on the road, lads, because I have a bit of a vision problem." So I look at how we can just about see each other, and we're both tittering like this. Vision problem. He's driving. So we're trundling along. I'm nodding, Howie's nodding. And there's this like piece of tarpaulin hanging between the back where we are and the front where he's driving, and that's cutting a lot of the light out. So boom, 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 boom. All of a sudden, boom, a big bump like that, and this bit of cloth falls down on his side. So we're there, and Howard leans over and touches me, and I go, "What?" And there he goes. And I look round. So I don't know if you've ever seen Dexter, but he has a kill kit, which is a load of knives rolled up in like a leather folder. So this bump has caused this to slip out, and it's partly open, and Howard leans down, and there's about 6 knives. One of them's covered in blood, and we're staring, and we look up, and suddenly Howard's hands up, and it's over the seats, and it's got him round the neck from behind, and he goes, "Stop the fucking van. Stop," and he squeezes a bit out, and this guy's struggling, and "Stop the fucking van." So as the van pulls over, I've got the back door, and I'm out, and Howard lets go of him. Howard's out, and like, we come round the van and start running. Some of what were left of our stuff is still in the van, and we're running to the embankment, heading towards the next bridge, and this van starts creeping along towards us, and this guy's shouting, and I was going, "Fuck off, don't come near us." Well, fuck. And he pulls up at the side, he goes, lads, I'm a butcher." So we stop and think for a minute, and then Howard says, "But you could be a fucking murderer." He said, "No, I'm a butcher, they're my knives, these are my uniforms and my stuff." So it's like, "Oh, right, we're really sorry, mate." So one of the back doors is still open, so I managed to get round and get our stuff. And I was going, "Well, I'm terribly sorry, mate." And then suddenly it just drives off, leaves us for dead. We get to the next bridge, it's probably 2 o'clock, possibly, I don't know. And we're there, and suddenly this flatbed wagon pulls up with some metal structures on it. So we walk round to the driver. He says, "You all right?" I said, "Yeah, we're after a lift. Where are you going?" He said, we're going to Skegness. So he said, I'm going just outside there. He said, "I can give you a lift if you want." He said, "But you'll have to hop on the back." So we climb up on this track. Remember, it's a flatbed steel wagon. Got the bags on there, and off it goes. And it sets off. And it's like, after a few seconds, we realised that we had to lie flat, facing down, because as it turns left, and then it turns right, and then suddenly it starts making rather mad movements. And Howard's facing the back, I'm facing the front, and I look up, and he's driving along, and he's looking out the window, and he's doing it on purpose, laughing, and like this. So this went on for about 40 minutes, and then it pulls up at some traffic lights, and the pair of us decide that's it. So we managed to get off this wagon. We got most of the stuff off it goes. We don't know if he'd noticed we'd got off or not, and probably 3-4 o'clock, we were knackered. We carried on walking a little bit. I think we went in a police station on the outskirts of Cleethorpes, and we said, "We've run away from home. We're here with no money, with no. Can you get us home?" "Nothing I can do, lads. It's a police station, unless you commit a crime." So it's all right. "So if we go and burgle a shop, will you be able to get us home?" He says, "No, but I'll lock you up." "Oh, right." So we give in with that one. It's getting a bit later now. It's not quite dark, but nearly, and we're wondering where are we going to sleep next. So I'll cut it there.
Hi everybody, it's Arteta Bobby!
And I'm Fat Steve. And I'm the star of the show, Princess Sandra. And together, we're Spicehead-Media.